regrets. I've had a few. One is I wish I could go back into those early days of my youth and market Anime Sickos differently, or at all, really. I would have started a TikTok for sure. I would have made clips and not just asked Medley to do it. And then he has his own life, so then he got busy, Joe. And you know what else I'd do? I wouldn't start Anime Sickos in 2019. I would start it in like 2012, beat Chapo to market. We'd really be like rich guys by then. If only I could go back in time. Joe, what do you think of this idea?
If I went back in time, I'd probably stop the Green River Killer.
Yeah. That's kind of boring. Any fun stuff?
I definitely would be better at karate.
Would you?
I think I would put in the work because I started it as a kid, and then the best way to get the belts, to level up the belts, is start really early because they'll give you the next belt because you're like showing up as a child.
Yeah.
As an adult, you can't do that.
As an adult, you have to actually demonstrate mastery. How about those those jokes that we discussed prior to the episode that you were gonna say?
Oh yeah, which ones were those?
Never mind. But the point being, you too wish you could go back in time. It would change so many things about your life.
Yeah, if I could go back, I'd probably do some of the things you said too.
Well, Joe, too bad it'll never be possible. Let me just open up CNN.com. Oh my God, Joe, the front page news, you're never going to believe this.
Benghazi.
Yeah, it's Benghazi. It's not going away. You remember those eggheads over at Science Island?
Yeah, aptly named due to the science.
Yeah, the boys over at Science Island. You know, it's funny I call them eggheads because they invented a time egg and calling it the Chrono trigger, saying it offers the holder the chance to go back in time.
Now, follow me with this little tour of logic here. Hypothetically, if I were to get my hands on such a device, I could probably stop the Green River Killer and also make it so our podcast is insanely popular and there's more sketch episodes and people like them.
We go back like to the 30s and like seed into popular culture like you like sketch. Joe, this is a slam dunk. We got to do this. I say we take a quick break for a couple of years of commando training so we can pull off this heist in Science Island. And also, you know, I've been talking a lot about my wishes. I've been vocalizing what I want, you know, manifesting in the world. And it's proven right because I fucking gestured to my screen as though the CNN article exists. And it's proven right because, you know, the universe has given us this great gift. Something else that I wish would happen is if the voice of Jeff Stormer from the Party of One podcast were to suddenly appear and start narrating the things that happen to us and occasionally ask us to roll dice. I wonder if that would ever happen.
And at that moment, you are both black-bagged and dragged away from the podcast recording. You awaken hours later on an airplane. You get the classic bucket of water thrown on you to wake you up.
Fuck.
The black bag is ripped off of your faces, and sitting in front of you is none other than noted enemy of the Anime Sickos, one of the all-time posters, hater of skeletons, Joyce Carol Oates is sitting in front of you.
Boo!
Just
You know, inside you there's a skeleton, right?
It is of normal size. It is a normal-sized human skeleton, and that is acceptable. And it is a tribute to life and not death. When I die, then the skeleton will be placed in the ground, not paraded on someone's lawn.
Joyce, I read some of your books before I got dumb, and I don't remember any of them, but I remember them being pretty good. Just wanted to let you know that.
You had a short story about there was like a weird creep named Arnold, right? I think I read that in school.
Yeah.
I have that novel that I sourced off of a kid that died at college that I did without the consent of the family.
What?
Whoa.
Joyce, what? This is real?
Why would
This
you
is the
say
sacrifices. These are the sacrifices that you make to get where I am.
Where are you? And also us. Yeah, actually, that should have been my first thing. Actually, my first thing is I wanted to say boo to scare you. Like I thought. I guess you know I'm not a ghost because you did this. What's this? Where are we?
You look, you're able to peer out of the window of the airplane to see that you are flying over the Pacific Ocean.
I think that's the lake.
Yeah, this is the lake. This is Lake Michigan. We're coming home. Take me home to
So-
come to
round line.
So did you kidnap us because, and a lot of people kidnap us for this reason, it's because you want to hang out with us?
You want to hear our great bits? Well, you're hearing them now.
If I wanted to hear your great bits, I would spend some of my uncountable millions upon billions of dollars to invest in your little web show or whatever and make you do the bits that I enjoy.
You
I
got
like
money
web show.
from literary fiction?
I am a literary fiction billionaire.
Oh my god. Fucking
But it's
boomers.
But it's not money that I want. I have enough money. It is power. And it is the power that comes from the time egg.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, Tom and I were talking about doing commando training, so we just figured we didn't have the upper body strength to like get
There's no
it.
time. There's
Oh.
no time for commando training.
Is there
Well,
drugs
it's funny
then,
you
or
should
what?
say pretty much anything you say about being out of time or there's no like at this point you gotta know there's like a thick layer of irony. I mean, if you're a literary fiction author, you should know about that. Although maybe it's a little too genre for you. Let me tell you, as a guy who's read a lot of sci-fi books, you just said a hell of a whopper.
Sci-fi, a genre for entitled children. I work
Yeah.
in the real world with real emotions and feelings.
Well, I'm an entitled child. What is this? Why? Okay, you want the time egg. We want the time egg. Why don't you go on your own? Why are we here?
Because the time egg is the most dangerously guarded invention in any of our lifetimes, and if someone of my wealth, status, and fame were to try and steal it, I would be shot out of the sky. However, with a reputation of well-known and well-hated dirtbags such as yourselves, I felt that you would be the perfect people to sneak in, steal it, and then we could make out a mutually beneficial arrangement where your podcast is boosted. Perhaps all of the world's great posts are published under my Twitter handle, and it is an arrangement that benefits everyone.
You mean you'll get our names off of the super secret list of people who've been shadow banned at birth?
You will be given, and I don't say this lightly, full Twitter visibility.
Oh my god!
Wow.
And
And,
I also,
like 2017 visibility, right?
Like 2016 visibility. In
you
the
mean
days-
like shit? My dad says you get a sitcom visibility.
Oh, that's a good point.
I mean 3 seasons on CBS visibility.
That's a lot.
We're not talking about one and done. We're not talking about canceled after the pilot.
I need to discuss this with my colleague. I lean over to Joe and I
We
say,
are talking.
Did you know it was guarded?
I didn't. I just thought they would see how much we improved physically, and they would give it to us.
I say, yeah, we accept on account of. I want to get. We got to keep this show rolling. That's
Good.
just good podcasting.
Good. And the like mechanized handcuffs that have bound your wrists like detach immediately. Some duffel bags are thrown at your feet. Suit up. You'll be dropped into the water. You're infiltrating Science Island through scuba diving. You'll be emerging from a pool in the island's cavern system. The island is heavily guarded by some of Science Island's most terrifying creations. Things so agonizing I dare not speak them into words. You will infiltrate. You will avoid these monstrosities of man's hubris gone too far.
Like your foot.
How dare you?
Easily.
You don't want to take this seriously. I could find any other podcasters that would jump at the you know how many McElroys there are that are waiting for this opportunity?
Yeah, they're also comedy podcasts. I mean, there are serious podcasters. You could have gotten Jocko. Jocko is serious, and he's a Navy SEAL.
A true crime podcast would have been like, it would have been a different vibe.
Do you want the job or not?
Yeah, I want the
Fine,
Chrono Trigger.
sure.
All right, fine. You're going to be dropped into water. You're going to infiltrate the cavern system. You're going to make your way to the egg, to the Chrono Trigger. You are on a time crunch. Joyce Carolus looks at the camera.
Again, come on, Joyce. Like, but I warned. First time is ignorance. This time you're doing it on purpose.
Unfortunately, you are. There is a ticking clock. It is being auctioned off, and we need to steal it before the auction occurs. You will be able to find the Chrono Trigger in a locked vault on stage of the Grand Ballroom, ready to be unveiled at the Science Island Illegal Billionaires Super Auction.
Yo, Ghislaine Maxwell is going to try to buy it and go back in time to tell Jeffrey Epstein to not do a power kneel in his cell.
Where he was fatally neckboned to death. So, I had no other thought. Continue.
I open my duffel bag and look in. What do I got?
Inside there is a scuba suit with breathing apparatus and a single one of those real jacked looking like commando knives where it's got the handle and the little spikes and the saw blades on the back.
Ooh.
One of those real nasty looking knives.
Sick.
And that's it. That's all you've got.
Do I have a bag, or is it just the one?
You both have the bag. You both have a knife. You both have a scuba suit. You see an island overhead. There are smokestacks billowing from it. You can make out the silvery gleam of laboratories. This is Science Island.
It just gives the science vibe.
And as you are approaching, from like you hear over the jet engines from outside, you hear, and you look. And you see, you know those bubble things from The Prisoner, the capture orbs?
Yes.
Yeah,
I do.
there are two of those flying alongside, and they are about to attack your plane. What are you doing?
Okay, Tom, look at me. We have two knives. One of us should focus on dual wielding while the other develops a different, more useful skill. Do you want the two knives?
Joe, yes.
Okay.
I hold two knives and I say an emo impression. This is pretty terrific.
Can I scan around me for some object I can build a skill with?
You, at this moment, have a revelation. You can, like, if there's something you want to improvise with, you can improvise with it. Just tell me if there's a reasonable chance it would be on, like, a military commando plane, you can grab it. Otherwise, you do have an opportunity here. As you have both foregrounded, there is some logic at play in all of this, which is, if you are stealing this time egg, then you will eventually have stolen this time egg, and therefore you can do all kinds of things with the future, applying that irony to your favor. If there's a skill that you want to learn, that you want to know in the future that can help you in this instance, it's at your disposal.
I would like to know how to build and operate an ornithopter
From Dune.
or a magic card.
Then at that moment, there is a rattling overhead as you see lowering down is a proper like Leonardo da Vinci sketchbook ornithopter. One of these like elaborate fucking flying machines lowers down and you see yourself on this ornithopter. But the thing that is notable is that there is a massive anime-style scar all the way down the side of your face.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I bet that's me from the future. I get cool in the future.
I look over and I'm like, yo, Joe, you badass. How'd you get over? And I look over and see you're still on the plane and I go, oh, boo, and my eyes bug out like Luffy when he sees something
Joe
shocking.
from the future flies the ornithopter, like drops the ornithopter down, flies through one of the capture orbs, tearing it up with the fucking helicopter blades, and then like dives off into the ocean and is gone. The ornithopter crashes. There is the largest explosion imaginable, way larger than you'd expect from like a wooden
And mostly
sort of
paper.
Yeah,
wicker,
and also
wicker
you were
basket style ornithopter.
he was pedaling it like with his like feet like a bike.
Until it was time for the
Massive
killing
explosion.
blow. And then I'm sure I like dove my feet forward.
Meanwhile, as this is happening, I think to myself, I need to get down out of this plane into Science Island. I'm already suited up. I have my 2 knives. I have 2 problems here. I need to fall slower so I don't get killed by the impact. And I also need to make sure that if any orbs come and get me, I'm gonna fuck them up. So I decide that I got an incredible move that's gonna solve both problems, especially as I gaze upon my 2 sick ass knives, which is I just jump out of the fucking plane. I extend my arms out, each holding a knife, like a helicopter blade, wouldn't you say? And spin. And as I'm spinning, I realize, oh, fuck, this ain't gonna work. And that's when I think to myself, gosh, if I survive this and get the time egg, I sure hope I can travel back in time and give me a boost so I spin a little faster.
Flying. This is a moment. I'm gonna roll me a d12.
I sure will.
This is to destroy this orb that is hurtling towards you. Roll twice and take the higher result. You want to beat a 4. 4 is going to get you a success.
Well, just Storm, I don't need to roll 2 d12s because the first one was a nat 12, baby.
This orb hurtles towards you. You are spinning. You slice it. It bursts, and suddenly you are falling you are falling back first. Your legs are kicking. You're screaming when you hear the whirring of a second smaller jet, and you see flying towards you with a Rocketeer jetpack is Tom from the future. Scoops you up like Superman, flies you towards the water, and whispers, "Remember, sharks are most afraid of bottlenose dolphins," and then dumps you into the water.
I am like, I come out and I'm like going, both because like that was like exhausting, and also because I'm just like, oh my god, Rocketeer, that movie's so good. Joe, I gotta tell, has Joe seen the Rocketeer?
Was that future you? Do you look cooler in the future? You're moving pretty fast. You probably couldn't notice.
I also, if I'm the Rocketeer, I have to have the helmet on with
You got the helmet. You absolutely had the helmet.
You probably never take it off, though.
If I don't have the helmet with the fin, I can't control the direction I go in, Joe. That'd be ridiculous.
Joe, are you...
Hold on.
I'm not appreciating the disrespect for the canon of the film Rocketeer right now.
I said something ignorant about the Rocketeer. I would like to bootstrap and have future me know more stuff about the Rocketeer. I don't know.
Maybe put like the synopsis in a little piece of paper in your pocket.
You know what? The back of the DVD case.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is in my pocket now. Future me just snuck in and just put there. I did not say that dumb thing about the Rocketeer. You're still enthralled. It's cool.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
All right. I put on my scuba thing and start swimming to the island. Meanwhile,
Joe, I assume you're suiting up and joining?
Yes.
The two of you swim through the water. You are inside the tunnels, like you see the sort of sewage tunnels, the filtration tunnels that make up the underbelly of Science Island. You begin swimming through them, and that is when you start hearing clanging of muscle on metal as something is smashing the water, the walls of these tunnels. It is coming from behind you. You look, there is a dark shadowy mass, and you see arm 1 punch the side of a wall, kind of slide it, arms 2, 3, and 4 punch other sides of the wall and start hurtling towards you. There is a mechanized cyborg octopus hurtling towards you at this moment. It is one of the underwater defense systems. Are you moving quick? Are you engaging? What is your game plan here?
My game plan is I'm going to move in accordance with the Game & Watch game Octopus. So I will be collecting coins in a bag that make me slower and then dumping them in a boat repeatedly. I do this to dodge the attacks.
I will, while he's doing that, does this octopus have 2 prominent eyeballs?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, well, I asked because I have 2 prominent sick-ass knives.
That's nice. Great.
I'm gonna, as Joe is dodging the attacks, I'm gonna try to do what I can with my knives and stick this guy in the eyes.
Great. Joe, roll me. Both of you roll me a d12. Joe, you're rolling for a 6. You're rolling for. You're both rolling for 6s. Joe, you're rolling to collect coins and put them in a boat and collect useful tools for the future in the heist. Tom, you are rolling to stab the shit out of a robot octopus.
Yeah.
What was it? I got 11.
I got a 6 on the dot.
All right, then perfect. You managed to accomplish that exactly. There is a boat, like there's you actually, Joe, or what you are able to find is that there is a small vessel up above that you are able to like get into, grab some riffraff and some various like maintenance tools that you're able to load up tools into the boat.
You could consider those coins.
You watch Tom fly towards a robot shark, jam these knives in its little glowing red eyeballs. There is a second massive explosion that sends Tom hurtling. It is an underwater explosion, which are the sickest kind of explosion. And Tom, you are sent hurtling. You are grabbed out of the water by Joe, who is in the boat, and you have a small maintenance jet boat that is taking you through these tunnels. Out you emerge into sort of a water treatment facility, and you are inside the base of Science Island, where the Chrono Trigger Time egg is being stored.
I say, Joe, this mission's a bust. My knives got destroyed in that explosion. I'm like half a person now. And don't tell me that you can, in the future, that I can't bring myself those knives. And I know you could go back to before Joyce gave us the knives, and then they would be those knives. But I want the knives that I used on the octopus.
Can I be honest about the knives?
Yeah.
For a second? I kind of wanted them.
Yeah, well, you offered. And
I know. I was doing like the Midwest nice thing.
Midwest nice. Well, I was the Midwest saying yes to it. We're in a fucking water treatment plant. What's going on here? Let me peer around.
First off, you find a couple of the objects that you find. You have
Oh, yes.
You're able to find a couple objects on the boat. You have a pair of night vision goggles.
Ooh.
We have 2, not jumpsuits, but coveralls, like kind of Ghostbuster maintenance coveralls.
Janitor clothes.
Janitor clothes. And a pen that is also a weapons grade laser, because every single science facility at some point starts making pens that are also lasers.
Yes.
It's just what they fucking do.
I'm immediately getting out of my scuba suit and into my janitor clothes. I feel like, one, I'll blend in, and even if I don't, like, scuba suit's wet. Slow me down.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I also get the wet scuba clothes off. That's what divers love to hear them called, scuba clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the technical term.
You look so good in your scuba clothes. I'm going to take the science grade laser and just find a place in the wall and just start cutting a door.
Great. Give me a D12, roll twice, take the higher result. You're going to want, this is heavy grade metal, so you're going to want to roll an 8 or better.
A 9.
Great. You are able to cut the hole in the wall. You cut a hole into the wall into the ventilation system. However, as you are doing that, you hear doors open and you hear muffles of guards approaching. You're going to have to smuggle your way into the vents quickly. I'm going to need a D12 roll from both of you, or if you're going to engage in some other way, tell me what you're doing.
Oh, I'm going for the vents for sure.
I'm going for social engineering. I'm gonna say, hey buddies, what we doing? I'm to be the janitor, Tom. Fuck, I used their real name.
As Tom is saying this, they see me just climb into a vent.
Tom, give me 2d12. Take the lower result because Joe did just climb into a vent. Joe, give me 1d12. You want to get you both want to get a 6 or better.
Jeff, I'm going to share my screen because I want you to know I'm not fudging this. I rolled two fucking 9s.
Great. Love that. That's great. That's funny. That's good.
I had
Joe,
10.
Fantastic. You two are just effortlessly doing this. This is fantastic. You're making your way through.
I said, you're never going to believe this, guys. I think this guy some kind of janitor genius. She knew right away something was wrong with the vents. I never would have checked the vents in 100 years. I'm Janitor Tom, by the way.
As Tom
it's
navigates,
not my first day. It's just you haven't met me before.
Of course. Well, happy to have you on the team. My name is Mark. That's Perry. That's Terry. These are 3 guards holding the largest, holding generic Sci-Fi Channel original movie laser rifles. Is the best way to describe it.
Buggers look like the Fifth Element. Remember Zorg? We work on Silence Island, and I assume live here.
Now, did you say that there's something is in the vent? Is that what he's doing?
Oh yeah, he's solving the vent problems. Vent problems covered.
It's really dusty up here. You can't do science with this amount of dust. You need stuff that needs to be like IP5. I think that's the thing people say about dust. It's fucked up here.
Yeah, as we know on Science Island, because we're scientists, COVID's not gone. Proper filtration is so important.
It's so important. It's really an underrated quality.
Yeah, which is why I'm in the vent breathing in all the COVID. So Science Island is okay.
That's why they pay him the least.
Joe, give me a D12 roll. You want an 8 or better for this lie to be believed, this secondary lie to be believed.
2.
Do you want to bootstrap this?
I will bootstrap, and then my future self is going to appear with his scarred face, and he's going to pull the fire alarm.
Is he out of view of like he's behind the guards so they don't see him?
Yeah, but he can still give me a thumbs up around the door. Yeah.
And when I see the scar and it looks so badass, I clap both my hands against my cheeks and make a face. We're gonna be cool.
So sure enough, you see future Joe step out, look at you, kind of give the hand to nose, and go to pull the fire alarm. But what you see is that on future Joe's wrist, there is a broken, elaborate manacle. One of those big, the big giant rings has been broken, is on his wrist. He pulls the thing, everything goes up. The fire alarm goes off. Oh God, there really is something. Oh God, the fire alarm. There's COVID in the vents. Oh God, did the COVID get sentient? Is that what we're dealing? Oh fuck, it's another sentient COVID. All right, we're gonna go deal with this.
Yeah, you gotta put in your N95s. They're really important. The
Dude,
Korean ones.
Good point. Everybody suits up. They mask up. It's just good precaution. It's not about taking care of yourself. It's about taking care of everybody else.
Flattening the curve, honestly.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, this is for my own benefit. Does the manacle have 2 huge chain links hanging off?
Oh, for sure. It's three of the big giant
oh yeah,
yes,
cartoon chain links.
I love breaking rocks in space prison.
I say to Joe as he comes out of the vent to the completely empty hallway with no goons. I'm like, Joe, it feels like we're doing this effortlessly. Also,
as you say that sentence, for dramatic purposes and not because Jeff forgot a really core rule of the game, Joe glitches the fuck out in front of you. It is agonizingly painful. It is as though every atom in your body in a split second is torn piece to piece and core molecule to core molecule and then put back together in a heartbeat.
I am quickly flashing, stuck in the wall, T-posing in pain.
Yes.
I am quickly warped back to where I was. I'm no clipping.
And then in an instant, you're back to normal.
I say to Joe, oh my God, Joe, that looked horrible. I bet it felt slightly worse than your normal way.
It was actually kind of nice. I liked it. It loosened me up, and I vomit at that point.
I'm like, oh, okay, so everything is totally normal. It looked really scary.
You have suffered. I'm going to say, actually, I realize technically you have not suffered a point of strain because you bootstrapped and avoided that. However, that was the first instance that a potential strain has emerged.
Okay.
And what that looks like, and what risks of happening, is you, if you get the 5 strain, are wiped out of the timeline. And that was your first instance that the two of you fucking around with timeline might in fact lead to the two of you being wiped out of all existence and or hurtled into the quantum realm, which is a fate worse than death. You gotta hang out with like whatever the MCU version of MODOK.
They're gonna recast Kang with someone.
They're gonna recast Kang. You're gonna have to like hear theories about it.
So the voice of Jeff Stormer is saying some awful shit to us.
Well, I'm
man.
closer for that.
Yeah, okay, well, leave it to me next time to pull some dumb shit so that we can sort of even out our HP here. You know, that's what co-op
You need to
gaming's
take
all
more
about.
initiative. The dumbest thing that comes to mind, you gotta chase.
Okay.
That's the difference between me and you.
As you say that, I'm just running full bore down the hallway, and I'm like intentionally like not looking at signs because I'm like I'm gonna start utilizing analytical sort of skills that I've honed.
Give me a
literacy.
D12 and take the lower result. You want a 6 or better to avoid getting lost in one of the horrible subtunnels of Science Island.
Okay, so I rolled 2. Give you the lower. You said,
yes.
Well, that's going to be devastating for me because the lower is a 3.
A 3. Oh, that's so. Sure enough, you run and like you turn a corner. And Joe, you watch Tom glitch out for a moment. Like it is the glitch balances out as Tom just full on like the exact same thing happens. And Tom, you blink into existence in like a room. Half of the walls are glass and half of them are like padded steel. You are in an observation chamber.
Whoa!
And you are looking around and manacled to the floor. Asleep until you say the words "uh-oh" and then starts to rise. You understand now what Joyce Carol Oates was saying when she was talking about horror concocted horrors beyond the comprehension of man, as standing in front of you taller and taller and taller is a reanimated 12-foot tall human skeleton.
I say, Happy Halloween? And sort of shrug, like, are you, am I?
Give me a D12. See what happens.
I got a 9.
9? It actually shrugs back. Like, it shrugs back, and it's a skeleton, so it's not, like, emoting, but, like, the shrug is clearly, like, it's one of those exaggerated, like, playful shrugs, and it pulls its arms up, and it rattles on the manacles. And then you do notice they're the same big, chunky manacles that Future Joe was wearing.
And I go, oh my god.
But it rattles for a second, and then pulls its arms a second time and a third time, and is clearly, like, distressed by by being manacled to the floor like this.
Homie, first of all, happy Halloween. Second of all, when you did that, I guess you can't talk because you don't have vocal cords, but am I right that when you did that shrug, you would have said it's a living?
Thumbs up.
Okay, we're homies. Buddy, this is great. Again, this is effortless.
Gives you a big, giant, 12-foot tall skeleton fist bump.
I do my best. I'm like, okay, you're going to love this. I got you fucking covered. And I just, like, rub my head, and I'm like, okay, I gotta remember, giant manacle snipping item. And what does my future self look like when
what
when
does
he gives
let
me
me
such a
see
thing?
what your future self looks like. Your future self, like the little doorway where you would slide food in, like opens, and like a cartoon pair of like bolt cutters is slid through, and you look, and your future self is wearing. It's it's one of those like full face ventilator masks, but it's very much one of the like it's very much kind of a like. It's not an N95. It's not like a regular mask. It is a full-on, almost World War I era gas mask.
Okay. I'm just like, wow, I really got a nice like retro future vibe going in the future. A Rocketeer, now this, and I pick up
leans in. If it were only for the aesthetics, it would be sick as hell. Unfortunately, and then walks off.
I go, uh-oh. Anyway, and so I pick up these bolt cutters. They're definitely like sci-fi looking for sci-fi chains.
Yeah.
And I'm like, buddy, we got it. And I snip the chains. And before I even check to see what's going on, I opened the door back to the hallway and yelled out at Joe, like, Joe, we got a homie. We got this. This is in the fucking bag. We have effortlessly succeeded.
Joe, you are crawling through the vents. Give me a D12. Give me a similar D12. Because Tom is yelling at you, I'll let you take 2 dice and take the higher result. But you're going to have to roll to navigate through these ventilation tunnels to get to where Tom is.
Okay, so we got a 3. That sucks. And then a 12.
12. Fantastic. Yeah, you are able to... You are thoroughly lost at first. You are thoroughly lost. You feel the stress starting to get to you. You feel your body start to glitch out. And then you hear Tom yell. You hear, we got a homie. You get through the tunnels. You jump out into this observation chamber, and there is a giant skeleton fist pumping with joy.
Yeah, this is our homie. You guys say Happy Halloween to him. That's how he knows you're down. It's how he knows you can hang.
Happy Halloween, dude.
Double fist bump.
We feel so like full of joy, and also I'm just like, oh, Joe, we can't forget these clippers because we're gonna need them to clip you out of a manacle later. Myself came by, and he had a cool look on, and I think he said something to the effect of like, this is just for the look. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have a fashion show later in our effortless adventure.
That's cool. We got these bolt cutters. Well, the thing is, I lose stuff. And, I mean, you kind of do, too. Why don't we give them to the skeleton to look after?
Oh, hell yeah. Homie, you want these?
Grabs the bolt cutters, cuts the bolts on its cuts the bolts holding its ankles in place, and just think about how fast you would think a 12-foot skeleton could dash.
Oh.
So much faster than that.
Oh, God. Okay.
Dashes through the glass of the observation chamber. Alarms start going off. There is now a 12-foot skeleton with a giant pair of bolt cutters loose in the laboratory. Guards are running with laser rifles. It is chaos. How are you going to sneak by all of this chaos to get to where the auction is happening?
Well, I feel like the fact that we're not a huge skeleton is a big thing in our advantage.
Yeah, for once in our lives, that's not holding us back.
This is what stealth games have taught me. Here's how we're going to get through this. It's going to take 40 hours, and it's going to involve throwing a little rock one by one, distracting everyone in our path, taking forever, and eventually getting past them. That's the way we're going to do that. Keep in mind, this is a very loud scene still, so the rock thing at the same time is stupid that it works.
No, it can't. It's got when you got a ticking clock. It can't take forever.
Give me a D12. Roll twice. Take the lower result because of the fact that you are on that. Like the auction, you hear on the loudspeaker, auction is set to begin in 5 minutes.
7 and 2. So did 7 give me anything?
7 does not. You're taking the lower result of 2, so that means that you start to glitch out. Like you are doing this. You hear that, and then you look at a clock and it glitches, and suddenly it's 2 days ago, and suddenly it's a week from now, and suddenly the entire island is on fire, and then suddenly you're back just feeling that same searing pain all over your body.
I'm throwing rocks, and it's glitching, so I'm throwing them at myself somehow.
Oh yeah. One of them gets like caught. Like it goes through your cheek while it's no clipping, and then you snap back into like physical while it's in your like mouth cavity. So like you almost choke on the rock, and you have to like spit it up, and like a bunch of mucus comes with it. It's gross.
Yeah, which people notice.
Oh yeah. Fuck. Okay. So if people are noticing that, I assume that we are now being menaced by guards. We have flubbed the stealth for sure.
Guards have surrounded you. With laser guns, and they are advancing on you. How are you dispatching the guards?
I cannot think of a way that I would actually be able to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I am going to bootstrap it such that, because they haven't gotten their N95s on yet, they're too busy. I'm going to have my future self somehow supply me with an item that I know is being developed at Science Island, which is a spray gun that shoots out weaponized COVID.
Jesus fuck. Wearing the gas mask seems like it makes a lot more sense now that he's handling a COVID spray gun. And notably covered in like dust and like a piece of rebar jammed into his shoulder.
Oh
Like
God!
limping.
Fuck!
Puts the spray gun at your feet, gives you a 2-finger salute with the other arm, and sneaks off and like walks off.
And like as he disappears, like I get the presence of mind to be like, oh my God, is our bony buddy like is he gonna be okay? But he's gone already. And
Joe, one of these guards is advancing on you, is about to like rifle butt you in the face. What do you do?
What I'm gonna do is he was gonna rifle butt me in the face. I'm gonna bootstrap.
Okay.
I'm gonna bootstrap, and what's gonna happen is future me, who has a cybernetic forehead implant, is going to just be right there and gets rifle butted in the head, causing the laser to just shatter and explode.
All right. Exactly what happens. The guard explodes. The two of you in the explosion make your way, and you found yourselves in the lobby, surrounded by people in weird Met Gala style outfits. This is an auction of the rich and famous. All around you, there are elaborate pieces of technology. There are ornithopters. There's a lot of like Hollywood props. You get the sense that Science Island, despite the name, is primarily making things for like is primarily making props for movies. Like you see, you know, various gadgets and things from Hollywood films are scattered about. All of this is here. All of it is for sale. All of it is going to the highest bidding. And there, in the middle of the room, in a glass case, is the Chrono trigger. There are so many people, it is going to be impossible just to walk up and take it. But what are you doing?
the first thing I do is, because I'm still wearing my janitor's clothes, so I'm going to immediately pull out my night vision goggles and put them on as though they're like my steampunk glasses, just to look science. And also I'm like, I have my COVID gun, which I sprayed some of the guys, I'm going to say.
I'm assuming, yeah.
But I'm going to say I didn't empty it. So like it's still sort of like legit. I'm brandishing it, not like threateningly, but just like I have science stuff. Like I'm the science janitor.
Yeah.
Like I'm would a poor guy have this shit just so that I'm not immediately fingered as the janitor. What do I do? I'm gonna look around to see if there's any fucking famous people I recognize that I can like act like I know and get some info.
There are a bunch. I mean, like, all of the rich shitheads are here.
They're all
like,
here.
All of the worst people that you can think of are hanging around. Fucking, like, Joe Rogan and Elon Musk are doing a push-up contest. It's all of the shitheads. A bunch of, like, celebrities that feel that you're like, I could associate with that. Like, nobody, I'd say nobody cool. Like, there's no cool celebrities that have made this island. Joe, what do you got?
Tom?
Yeah.
So the problem with the auction is that we have no money.
What if we just say a huge number but don't pay?
They don't give it to you.
Oh, okay.
Until
I didn't know the order of operation. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would, if I was doing it, I'd pay first. Yeah.
So, what if we did a tried and true strategy of one of us is decoy and one of us grabs the egg? I am happy to be a decoy because I will change into a costume that will be so distracting to all the rich shitheads that you'll have free reign to do whatever you want because they will be so taken aback, so disgusted. And you know what that costume is, Tom?
What is that costume? Should I get?
It is it's a barrel with suspenders, and you're naked underneath.
Holy shit!
They hate that because that's like the poorest you can be.
Yo, you need a bindle.
That is the poorest you can be.
Yes. I also have a bindle, but I'm not carrying it. It's like wedged in the barrel. Looks like shit. So I begin walking at a casual pace.
How did you get this shit?
I bootstrapped me loves costumes, dude.
Okay, I imagine there's some role assigned to this.
Bootstrap, future you, like, drops off the barrel, and you no longer see the scar on future Joe's eye because future Joe is wearing like sort of almost like a Darth Vader helmet, but it's the top that's the top half of the skull of a 12-foot skeleton, and you can see the tears in future Joe's eyes.
Oh no.
Our bony buddy.
You make this right. You make them pay, and then sneaks off.
I begin my one idiot parade.
give me 2d12 and take the higher result.
Say some poor guy one-liners. Like, I sure love an old can or something.
Yeah, I got a 10 and a 7.
Fantastic, effortless.
Oh, I love riding the rails and having no fixed employment. It is wonderful.
When you said rails, like all of their skin hissed like they went like vampires going into a church.
They are chasing. You are being chased by billionaires who are on all fours, like feral vampires.
And like, if Zuck's there, he's so much faster and stronger than you. Are you kidding me? So as this is happening, I'm gonna go up to the glass case that is encasing the time egg, and I try to lift it up. It is, would you fucking believe it, sealed down. It's not like a thing over a cake. So I'm gonna look around me to see if there's anything that I could use to smash a glass. Jeff, are there any Hollywood props around that seem like they might do the trick?
There is the hand from Terminator 2.
Well, they all have hands.
Well, you know the hand that's on the plaque, like the hand on the plaque that's the thing that they turn into the Terminator?
Was the one where they get the thing that they get like the chip that they reverse engineer Skynet?
Yeah, they reverse engineer it from the arm in the first one.
Yeah, okay, dope. Yeah, okay, yeah, because he smashes and his arm's hanging out.
Yeah.
I'm remembering now how those movies go. I see the arm from Terminator, and I go, hell yeah. And so I'm going to pick that up, and I'm going to form the little thingies into a fist. And I'm going to try swinging that as hard as I can at the glass, see what happens.
Give me a D12. Give me 2d12,
will.
take the higher.
Well, it doesn't matter because that's a 4 and a 2, so that's a big 4, Stormer.
That's going to be a glitch. The timeline has been, admittedly, very damaged. Do you want to bootstrap at this moment?
Yeah, I think I think a funny thing to do would be I bootstrap and I see future me come out from behind a podium. The billionaires are all over on the other side of the room, and hands me with a look of, and I don't know if I can see this look based on what I'm wearing, but somehow through some sort of body language, I get, this is the best I could do. And I get handed a grenade where the pin is already out. And it's just like the little thingy flies out that means like you can't hold it no more. And I'm just like, good. Kind of like put it next to the glass and do the slow motion jump. Also, what do I look like? What's different about me?
The same as everything is before, but also soaking wet.
Oh fuck!
Which is now like all of the like dust that was on you is congealed into sort of mud and glue. The rebar is still there, but like it's a bad look.
Shit. Well, that sucks my butt.
Well, the grenade goes off. The explosion is huge. You, Joe, like you are knocked into a wall. Guards grab you and drag you off.
That's true.
Tom, you grab the chrono trigger. You are hurtled into a wall. There is a massive explosion, and you look, and sure enough, there is a piece of rebar sticking out of your arm.
Yeah! This is honestly one of my least favorite applications of rebar. Owie!
But you have obtained the chrono trigger, which means we now segue into heist number 2. Which means now you have to go do all of the things that you bootstrapped in the first part of the heist.
Okay.
I'd also have to get off because notably the chrono trigger is not a teleporter.
Yes. You also have to get out of here.
Oh, this is so fucking good. What a great game. It's called Time Heist, by the way. I
Yeah,
say
I
to
should say-
myself,
I
just
should say,
sort of
we're playing the game
musing.
Time Heist. You can find it on itch.io. It's a great game. You can find it, I guess, probably in the show notes. I don't know. I'm not doing Tom or Joe's job, but you can find it in the show notes.
Tom's job.
Tom's job, yeah. And also, we'll give a plug at the end. Fuck. So I got the Chrono Trigger. The room is destroyed. I'm just like, got Rocketeer, props, movie props, Rocketeer, and I start going around looking for the Rocketeer outfit and jetpack.
Give me a D12. Give me a D12.
Fuck, I got a 2.
You find it, but you know how the helmet is really important for navigation? Like, you wouldn't be able to navigate it without the helmet proper.
Yeah,
Like, it's a
mentioned
really
that.
important. It's a really important part of the movie. That is a really critical part of the lore that anyone that really understands the lore of the movie would have said.
Yeah, even if you had only seen the back of the DVD case, you would know that is how you change the airflow.
You'd
so
read the
it's
back of the
able to
DVD
steer.
case, you'd understand that that's the case. That helmet's been smashed to bits. And as seeing that, knowing that you had that helmet earlier, you feel yourself start to glitch out further. You now take a second point of strain.
This sucks my ass. I hate this. To think I once called this effortless. Well, I still grab my Rocketeer backpack and I put it on. I forget momentarily because of my shock and adrenaline that I have the rebar, so the backpack handle catches on the rebar and sort of jerks it to the side. It's the most painful thing I've ever experienced in my life. But I get it on. And do I just keep? Are we gonna cut to Joe, or should I just keep?
Joe,
riffing?
you are in an observation chamber like where you found your homie. You have been manacled to the floor. What are you doing?
Can we have a scene of just me getting in there?
Yeah. Guards grab you. They throw you in. They're manacling your wrists and ankles.
Cool. The guards rolled me the whole way because I still in my barrel.
Oh fuck! Yes.
That is correct. That is correct.
One of them, who's played by me, says, "You filthy poor person." Bleh, bleh. He tries to spit on you, but then he's just like, "My spit is too valuable to be wasted on the likes of you. You're Bindle. What's in here? Nothing but crumpled up newspapers and old cans." And they do spit on you this time. They're so furious.
You are rolled into the. You are rolled in. You are manacled. What are you doing?
I say to myself, shit, I gotta get a cybernetic forehead implant.
I mean, you are on Science Island.
Yeah, I should have asked one of the guards before they left. Oh wait, I just like make a bunch of noise with the manacles. I'm just kind of an asshole about it.
I'm not gonna have you. Give me a D12, but you only need to get a 4 or better to get what you need out of this moment.
And a 4.
There you go. You got what you needed. Unfortunately, what you needed was a guard comes in and like you make a bunch of noise. And I'm going to cut to Tom in just a moment because a guard smashes a rifle into the side of your face, gashing the side of your face really gnarly.
Yes.
As Tom, you make your way into the room.
Okay, so I'm in the room with Joe now. Okay.
You're everybody's back is turned to you because they're all cheering on as this guard bashes Joe with a rifle.
Okay. So I'm going to see this happen. I'm seeing my podcast co-host, and I know his fucking back is bad. This can't help.
Yeah.
And I'm so furious. I'm full of righteous anger. I'm not thinking. I just pull out my COVID gun and start spraying. And that's as I sort of am holding the trigger down and like waving it back and forth over the goons, I realize, oh, this is an enclosed space.
Give me that works effortlessly. All the guards all go down, but you're going to need to find ways for you and Joe to be able to breathe, or else there's going to be a real problem. Joe, what do you got?
Well, I know there's only one cure for instant COVID defense and cure, and that is menthol cigarettes. That's why they banned them. So, I would like to rummage through a passed out guard's pockets in the hopes that I can find the cool, refreshing taste of menthol to share with my homies so we can live forever and definitely not get COVID.
It's It's so imitatable. It's so imitatable and cool. Is smoking cigarettes is a cool activity. Give me 2d12 and take the higher result since these guards are unconscious.
And it makes you cool.
It makes you so cool.
1 and an 11.
Effort. You find cigarettes and it buys you just enough time to note that like there are in glass cases hazmat suits, but because they are weird science-y things, they are elaborate World War I gas mask looking motherfucker things.
Lots of valves. Okay, cool.
I have already put on the helmet of one when I see that Joe is doing this cigarette thing. And so, I don't want to be rude, but I I take the cigarette and put it in like the hole of the little filter thing. And as I breathe in,
so you're hotboxing a gas mask?
I'm gonna say that like the superheated like smoke it's not hot gas is not supposed to be in this, and not so close, not so directly. And the gas mask, the metal part heats up and it fuses to my face. Not like forever, but it's gonna take like a procedure to get this off.
Yeah, it's not
hurt.
great.
So it's not just for looks.
You are bleeding pretty badly. There are some like medical facilities nearby, but you are hearing like the sounds of gunfire and commotion not far off. What are you doing?
Is there like signage, like medical wing?
Yeah, there's like you're like you can kind of see into the beginnings of like the medical experimentation lab. It's next to where these observation chambers are, and further down the hall you're hearing the sounds of like a commotion. You're hearing guards get thrown into walls. You're hearing guards fire laser guns. There's something bad happening just down the hall.
Tom, we got to get to the medical wing because we need to put you in a contraption or perhaps a device to unfuse it from your face because that hurts and it doesn't look great.
Also, more to the point, this rebar in my shoulder hurts far more. Also, you need to get a head implant so that you can be badass Cybo Man.
Yeah, I was just going to do self-surgery, just sew whatever into my head. It doesn't matter. We just need to get to the room.
Where are they going to have the sewing stuff? It's in the room. Let's go to the room.
Yeah.
You get into the room. Give me a D12 to do self and other surgery. Take 2D12 and take the higher result because this is a cutting edge medical facility.
3 and 7.
7 is enough. You're able to undetach the gas mask from Tom's face. You implant your metal, but at that moment, you hear what you did not think was possible before, and that is the sound of a skeleton scream from down the hall.
Oh my god.
Can I just for the purposes of like this is so clean, because we're in the medical lab, I see the rack of COVID guns and I'm like, yo, holy shit, and I just grab one. I'm like 1 second and Joe sees me bloop out of existence and I bloop right back without a COVID gun.
Yep,
like, I needed
yep. Exactly. Perfect.
So we hear the screaming Skelly. Oh no.
You make your way down, and sure enough, like the skeleton, Skelly is on one knee getting blasted with laser guns, reaches an arm out to you, begging and pleading for help in this moment. What do you do?
Well, I have a super strong forehead now.
That's true.
That's true.
I slam it on the ground and cause a huge fissure.
Yeah, it's an AoE attack.
Yeah.
This is Donkey Kong's down B.
I'm gonna because you've got the implant, it works effortlessly. You slam down, there's an explosion, guards go flying, and for a moment, just a moment, you are there with the last moments of your skeleton friend. It puts its gigantic hand on your shoulder and whispers in a voice that did not seem possible because skeletons don't have vocal cords. Friend. And then it collapses into a pile of bones.
I was going to ask, how do you know when it's dead? But when it
cartoonily collapses like a pile of bones.
Well,
Gotcha.
I mean, there ain't no things keeping the bones together other than magic. I mean, it's
there
not
is
like there's tendons.
The sound of listen,
The sound of the saddest xylophone.
I was gonna say it's a running up of an entire xylophone as the bones pile up on the ground.
And I look and I say, sad Halloween.
In the science lab, I find a computer that's got a 3D rotating model of an ornithopter. I sit down in front of that computer.
I'm like, oh, yo, Joe, I think there's a 3D printer in this room.
There is, in fact, a 3D printer.
Oh, shit. Joe, give me that fucking back cover of the Rocketeer you had.
Yeah.
I need to design a CAD model of the helmet, and I need that as a reference.
Oh, yeah, here, you sit down.
So I start doing that. You got the ornithopter project. So we're just making our things that we need.
As you're printing this, Joe, you have a realization. You've got to get yourself that barrel.
Fuck. That is true. Okay. Oh, wait, you know what? This ritzy billionaire, but also kind of Hollywood Showtime theme that's going on. These people love when a man goes over Niagara Falls in a barrel.
Oh, shit. And you could make a Niagara Falls in a science island because it's terraforming. You need that to go to Mars.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm imagining, I was just thinking they're in a display case, not unlike the Chrono Trigger egg, obviously not as fancy, was a science barrel from a recent science waterfall trip.
Yep, right. Sure.
Yeah, obviously it's because it's like intended to be manned. It has a bottom. Yeah, that's no good. So I gotta step into it and through the bottom.
You kick out the bottom of it. Are you grabbing the top of the skull of your skeleton friend to wear as a tribute?
I am. And is there anything I can use as suspenders? It just. You know what? Oh, science cords, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah. No, I pull out a bunch of HDMI cords from because I'm working on the computer to design the CAD of my Rocketeer helmet. I open a fucking drawer and I throw you a bunch of HDMI cables. I'm like, science cords.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm laced up now, with the barrel that I have been destined to wear.
You grab the egg. You drop it off. You hand it to yourself. Your younger self looks at the skull that you're wearing and sees the pain in your eyes, and the two of you have a moment.
Oh.
You flash back to the past. The ornithopter and the Rocketeer helmet are printed. You start making your way. You're about to exit, and what do you see as you are running back out? Time itself is starting to fold in on itself, and what do you see? But Joe and Tom. Joe has cut a hole in the door. And Tom is talking to some guards who do not seem convinced and have started to ready their laser guns.
I'm just really pleased right now. Okay.
Gotta pull that shit.
Oh, yeah, right now. I locate the fire alarm, which says pull only in case of emergency, and I do not read it, and I pull it.
And the fire alarm goes off. You both look. You've got the manacle on your wrist from when you've broken out of the containment chamber. You've got the scar on your eye. You
have your fucking metal head.
Time is continuing to fold in on itself. You make your way into the tunnel. You hop on the boat, the very same boat that you would drop off for yourselves at the start of the tunnel when you were chased by the octopus. And as you're running, some guards are shooting lasers, and you hear a very distinctive tink, 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 tink. And you look down, and there is a live grenade right at your feet.
I instinctively dive at this fucking thing to like try to. I first I want to bat it away, but as I'm diving, I'm like, shit, no, fuck, I gotta.
You dive at it and capsize the boat. Joe, you've got to flip. You got to rewrite the boat. Tom, you are running through the water. You grab the grenade.
And as I have the grenade underwater and I have the time egg, I activate it. This is the best I can do. And I go back.
Past Tom thinks, wow, you look like shit.
Yeah, fucking yeah, man.
And you make your way out. You ride the boat to the base of the tunnel where you would find it at the start of your mission. You look in the sky. You see the plane that you were dropped off on. You see two prisoner orbs alongside it. What do you each do?
I summon the ornithopter using my cybernetic head implant.
Sure. It's got ornithopter control, absolutely.
Yeah. And I fly in attack formation, which I guess is just regular flying, at the one orb I'm destined to pop.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I put on my 3D printed Rocketeer helmet, thinking, sure hope this printed right and didn't get misaligned. And I see myself jump out of the airplane, trying to spin like a helicopter to slow myself down, like one of those little like fairy toys that you spin and it goes, it spins. And looking now from my angle down on the ground, it's like absurd how I'm barely spinning at all. And I do
sort
see
of
that
just T-pose and fell.
It was your opening move.
It's just like if I were to not intervene, I'd get maybe like 2 revolutions by the time I hit the water. However, I do slash the prisoner orb, which I'm very proud of. But I fire up my Rocketeer and shoot off and grab myself. And as I'm about to gently put myself down, I think to myself, like, oh, fuck. It'd be so cool if I, like, messed with myself and said some shit that, like, didn't pan out. So I was nervous the whole time. And I said, remember, sharks are afraid of bottlenose dolphins. And then I zoom back to the present.
You zoom back, and you have a moment of terror. Joe has you see Joe demolish that prisoner orb, and you have a true moment of terror.
Oh, because his thing exploded. Fuck.
You realize that your friend, your podcast co-host, is about to get a piece of lore wrong about the superhero classic, The Rocketeer.
And I go,
You know what I'm thinking right now as this is all happening? I'm thinking, I bet you don't need the helmet to control that suit. I bet it's not even important. I bet the helmet is just for looks.
I'm patting down my fucking, like, leather top with the 2 layers of buttons so that I look like a badass past guy. And I'm just like, there's got to be, if it's commemorative. And I pull out, I didn't even notice because the rebar was making my whole left side really kind of extremely numb, that in the left inner pocket is the DVD of The Rocketeer, because anyone who purchases this science recreation obviously wants to watch the movie. It's actually a Blu-ray. It's 4K. Am I kidding me? And
it's the remaster. It's got great commentary.
Oh yeah, they got Jennifer Connelly. How did they do that? Doesn't she have something else to do? Well, she must love The Rocketeer. And I give Joe this DVD case. I give Joe the time egg, and I say, You need the helmet to steer. How else would I steer? It's just 2 rockets. How would I turn?
Oh, when you put it like that. Okay, yeah.
You flash back, you give yourself the DVD of The Rocketeer, and waiting, like, and you make your way to a distant beach on the opposite side of the island, where waiting on a plane is Joyce Carol Oates and her private security. Do you give the time egg to Joyce Carol Oates, or do you just walk off with it for your own ends?
There's a standoff, and I look at Joe and I say, Joe, the way I see it, one of 2 things happens. Either we come out of this time egg owners, or we don't. And the way that we prove it is that if we were, I'd be getting handed a second COVID gun right now.
Well, wouldn't you know it?
Oh, are we not going to roll? Just get it?
No, just get it. I think we're at the end of the game. Sure enough, there's just like, we see the shot of the gun being handed to you, and then we flash we get a montage of the iTunes and Spotify charts. Anime Sickos is on top. We see packed live shows. We see Twitter threads about unfortunate news about the Anime Sickos. We see just really what's the insufferable sponsorship or grift that we see play
Stamps.com.
out.
Stamps.com is a big one.
We're always talking about stamps.
The Office ladies. are
Yeah, we're
just like,
constantly
Pictures of
collaborating
you with
them.
the office ladies.
yeah, they don't start a podcast because they don't see the point because they're our friends now.
We start putting 2 out every 3 episodes behind the paywall and just release 10 minutes of them. We surgically make our voices sound more similar so that you can't tell us apart. It doesn't matter, though, because we're living large.
Living the dream. Living the dream. And then somewhere...
Also, there's someone opens the front page of CNN.com. The Green River Killer strikes never. Didn't happen.
The story on CNN.com is this guy named Joe stopped an asshole before he got going.
That's another thing that made our podcast hit so big. It's like, remember the famous serial killer preventer Joe? We won't want to hear his funny bits.
He started a podcast. It's sketches. It's that thing that we've all loved as a society since the 1930s.
Yo, sketches! Everyone loves our sketch episodes. We put out Sicko Shock 2, and it's the biggest hit, and it gets more downloads than a normal episode, and I don't have any existential angst about it, and I don't feel sensitive about it. And it does have more downloads than a normal episode, which have like 1 million.
Yeah,
So-
it's blowing up. It's tearing up.
and
that-
my friends have listened to it too. So that's because they all like it. Yeah, and that's real.
That,
It happened.
my friends, is Time Heist.
Holy shit. Jeff, who wrote Time Heist and how can someone purchase it?
Time Heist is a tabletop RPG by Roll Flip Draw. You can find it at rollflipdraw.itch.io. It is a very fun game. Pretty much everything that happened to Tom and Joe was off of a table that it encourages you to roll when your future self shows up and things have gone wrong. It's a really, like, it approaches the time travel premise in a really fun, lighthearted way, but, like, really engages with it, and it's just, like, a great game that I really love. Also, cat.
Yeah, there's cats. There's 2 cats on
We
screen.
got 2
right
cats now.
Jeff, if someone were to listen to this, having never heard of you, and if they were to have heard you GM this game and said, God damn, this guy, he's so good at GMing fun games, especially off-the-wall games. Well, I'd love to hear him GM a variety of games. And what a small group, only 3 players. I wonder if he could get it even smaller. Well, what would you say to those people? What would your advice be?
I would say I appreciate the specificity of your requirements. It's you're looking for something narrow, and I'm excited to tell you that exactly what you're looking for is out there, because I host a podcast called Party of One. It is an actual play podcast focused on 2-player role-playing experiences. Every episode, I sit down with a friend. We play a 2-player game. You can find that wherever you get your podcasts or at partyofonepodcast.com.
It's good as hell. I'm on some of them. I'm going to be
You
on
are.
another pretty soon.
Which is a great episode. Honestly, the one
So
we recorded
fucking
was
good.
really fucking funny.
Hell yeah. Thank you for joining us, Jeff. This was a treat.
This was a blast. This was a dream. This rules.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all for Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, an Anime Sicko.
I've been Joe, an anime sicko.
And I have been Jeff, an anime sicko.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Sketches
See
are
ya.
good. You like the sketches. Thank you for listening to Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, a sicko. You can follow me on Twitter at TomHarrison19. Joe is also a sicko. You can follow him on Twitter at ShariaUncle. You can follow Anime Sickos on Twitter at Anime Sickos, or email us at animesickos@gmail.com. Please leave us a review or something. I don't know. Tell a friend. Anyway, until next time, bye.